Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Muhammad Fari Ilham, and today I will present a topic titled The End of English Dominance, exploring the rise of Mandarin and Spanish. This presentation is based on David Gradle's research in the future of English, published by the British Council in 1997. So I will explain about the next slide is introduction. For many years, English has been seen as the global language. It dominates international business such as science, diplomacy, technology, and even the internet. However, the question now is, will English remain dominant in the 21st century? As Gradle asks in his book, English is widely regarded as having become the global language. But will it retain its preeminence in the 21st century? This question invites us to think about the future of global communication and whether other major languages like Mandarin or Spanish could challenge English's position. So next slide is why the question matters. This interested because this issue matters. The world is changing rapidly. Technology connects billions of people, and economic power is shifting toward Asia and Latin America. Gradle reminds us that the next few decades are crucial. He wrote, the next 20 years or so will be a critical time for the English language and for those who depend upon it. That means English might face competition as new global power rise. Next slide, the rise of English. Let's begin with how English became dominant. During the British Empire, English spread across the world through colonialism. In the 20th century, the United States became a superpower and made English the main language of science, economy, and popular culture. Gradle said, the story of English in the 20th century has been closely linked to the rise of the United States as a superpower. That's why English became the language of global communication, but dominance like this rarely lasts forever. Next slide, we talk about shifting global power. Shifting global power. Today, the world's economic power is shifting. Countries in Asia and Latin America are growing rapidly. Gradle notes the economic dominance of OECD countries is being eroded as Asian economies grow and become the source of cultural and economic flows. This means countries like China, India, and Mexico are no longer just followers. They are now shaping global trends. When economies change, language influence changes too. So next slide is we talk about Mandarin and Spanish as a challengers. So let's focus on the two major challenges, Mandarin and Spanish. Mandarin is growing fast because of China's massive economy and cultural power through technology, business, and Confucius institutes that promote Chinese language worldwide. Meanwhile, Spanish has over 500 million speakers and is now the second most spoken language in the United States. Spanish music, films, and media are spreading across the world. Gradle predicted this possibility years ago when he said, we might find the hegemony of English replaced by an oligarchy of languages, including Spanish and Chinese. So the future might not be about one global language, but several powerful ones sharing influence. Okay, the next slide is English in transition. We talk about English in transition. Despite these challenges, English is still growing, but in a different way. More people are learning it as a second language, and soon they will outnumber native speakers. Grado explains within a decade or so, the number of people who speak English as a second language will exceed the number of native speakers. That means English will no longer belong only to native speakers in Britain or the United States. It will belong to the world. However, this also creates diversity and variation. He also said that increasing adoption of English as second language is leading to fragmentation and diversity. In other words, English is becoming many different forms, like Indian English, African English, and Singaporean English, what we call word Englishes. Next slide, we talk about the future from one to many. So, what will the future look like? According to Grado, English will continue to be important, but it will have to share the global stage with other languages. He said, the future for English will be a complex and plural one. This means that the world will become multilingual, where Mandarin and Spanish, English all play major roles. Instead of one dominant language, there will be a balance of languages used for different purposes. And to conclude, English will not disappear, but its global monopoly is ending. Mandarin and Spanish are rising alongside it, supported by strong economies and larger populations. As Grado wrote, although English is unlikely to be displaced as the world's most important language, the future is more complex and less certain than some assume. So the future of global communication will not belong to one language alone, but to many voices, many cultures, and many languages working together. So that's it, my presentation. I apologize for my mistakes. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.